Hello again. Most leaders of the opposition and prospective prime ministers are seen with their wives in public because it makes them look more human and relatable to ordinary people. Think about people like Tony Blair and David Cameron, whose wives, Sherry Blair and Samantha Cameron, became very well known. Keir Starmer, though, keeps his wife locked up in the attic like the mad woman in Jane Eyre. She is never seen in public. This is a little odd. He comes across as something of a hollow man, a non-entity, and you'd think that being seen with his family might make him appear just a little bit more normal. However, nobody ever so much as catches sight of Lady Victoria Starmer. The suggestion has been advanced that this is for the same reason that, when addressing a group of Muslims round about Remembrance Day, Starmer removed the poppy from his lapel in case it should give the wrong impression or perhaps cause offence. He is very anxious, you see, not to say or do anything which will put Muslims off voting for him. These people are traditionally red hot for Labour, but recently have been looking more to independent candidates who will promote their own special interests rather than just voting Labour as usual. This has been noticed very much since the October the 7th massacre and the subsequent fighting in Gaza. For whatever reason, an awful lot of people do tend to conflate being Jewish with being Zionist, and also being Jewish and being Israeli are often muddled up as well. Keir Starmer knows this, and he is very anxious that it should not happen with his wife, and also with regard to his own personal life. You see, he and his family attend services every week at a synagogue, and he's not at all keen to have that kind of thing publicised. His wife is Jewish, and their children are being raised as observant Jews by having prayers to mark the beginning of Shabbat on Fridays and so on. They keep kosher as well. His wife's mother was a convert, and you know what converts are like, often more religious than those born into a faith. Anybody who's ever had dealings with a convert to Catholicism will probably understand what I'm talking about here. This might perhaps account for the fact that Starmer's wife is so keen on making sure that the kids grow up grounded in Jewish faith and history. It is an unfortunate fact, though, that for many of the more devout Muslims, Jews are like kryptonite. They make no distinction often between Jews and Zionists, Jews and Israelis. They simply lump them all together as kuffars and regard them as the spawn of Satan. Quite literally so, in fact. For this reason, it is supposed Keir Starmer is determined to keep his wife out of sight as far as possible, and not have it too widely voiced abroad that he worships regularly in a synagogue. It might very well put off some Muslims and cause them to shun both him and the Labour Party. The problem you see with Starmer is that he hopes to be all things to all men. When he's mixing with white British people, he wears his poppy with pride and indicates that he has great respect for the sacrifices which our country made during 2 world wars. As soon as he goes to speak to Muslims, though, he whips off the poppy and hints that he despises the British Empire and all that it's achieved, and tells them that he is on their side in their struggle against institutional racism. Then on Saturdays he nips down to the local synagogue, but makes sure that by Monday he's ready to start sucking up to Muslims again and trying to catch their votes. I honestly think that it is a debatable point whether he or Rishi Sunak is the most loathsome of the main party leaders. At least Sunak is clearly a wealthy carpetbagger, only in it for what he can get, whereas Starmer is trying to portray himself as a man of the people who genuinely gets everybody's concerns. They really are pair of worthless scoundrels.